Hi, everyone. Welcome to yet another edition of Metaflow Office Hours. We have a very special guest today. We have Samuel Tan from carsales.com.au joining us from Melbourne, Australia. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Samuel, for joining us. Samuel is a senior MLOps engineer for the last 2.5 years at Carsales. And then prior to that, he was at a few other places working as an MLOps and an AI DevOps engineer. He was at WiseNet. He was at the Harvest Bible College as a system administrator, and then a few other companies before that as well. It looks like you've spent a fair bunch of time looking at the world of AI and ML and MLOps. Samuel, thank you so much for joining us. Over to you.
Thanks, Sri. Thanks for the introduction. As he introduced, if you get a glimpse, I'm actually from the system background, system administration background point of view, graduating from there. Level 1 IT support, system admin, cloud engineer, and then why I'm telling you all this is because this would contributes to the content of what I'm sharing today. So I'm the Sam. Hi everyone to the land of the internet and Metaflow lovers or soon to be lovers of Metaflow.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm part of the operations person in our in Carsales team. I pretty much try to help our team productionize all the machine learning AI projects. So that's my background. So the content I'm going to share today is pretty much our journey using Metaflow. It will be speaking to some folks that likes operations. So if you are operations person, hopefully this will cause some hunger going on. But anyway, let me share my screen. I'll give everyone
not a
some
problem
context.
at all, by the way.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Not a problem at all. Like if you look at even the Metaflow website and all the documentation around Metaflow, like there's this clear distinction made between two personas: people who are purple hats and people who are yellow hats. Purple hats are people who are kind of sort of the data scientists who kind of sort of write the machine learning models and are deeply soaked into the world of data science. But oftentimes, for their work to actually bear fruit or for their work to actually kind of sort of run at scale, you need the yellow hats, which is people on the engineering side who build the platforms or who make the platforms available and so on. So you're spot on in terms of the targeting one of these personas and seeing how what your journey has been. So exciting to see that.
Yeah, so yellow hat. I'm on the yellow hat team.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm sharing with you. So right in front of you, I'm from Carsales. That's the Carsales logo. Just a bit of background from my company. Basically, Carsales is #1 automotive marketplace business in Australia. Also operates numbers of different places. We aim to buy, sell vehicles, give good experience to users, and we achieve this through leveraging consumer audience, bringing together OEMs in one environment. This literally is the official points I'm saying. In summary, we try to sell anything with wheels, pretty much. Not airplanes, but bikes, motors, tractors, caravans, you name it with wheels. So yeah, so that's Carsales. For those of you who are not familiar in terms of the business that Carsales is in, just a bit of background. How do Carsales use AI? Essentially, we pretty much put them in a 3 pillars point of view. One is we use AI to improve consumer experience, enhance trust and safety, and optimizing engineering and processes. We dive into it a bit deeper. So under these 3 pillars, when we say improving consumer experience, we use different type of models, so machine learning models, to enhance our Carsales product, which I have some use case later. So example, LLMs, that's a big thing nowadays. The support makes search simpler in our Carsales website. We also improve personalization, so that you get recommended things that is what you wanted to search for, and the accuracy of pricing. Not only that, we have under this pillar, enhanced trust and safety. We use some technology behind the scene. There's another use. There will be use case after this. Basically, we use image recognition to figure out cars, so that you know that this is what the car, what the person is selling is what that car is about, rather than somebody's put a picture of a Toyota, but
Photos, yeah.
they're saying something else. Yeah. So not only that, oops, did I jump out? Yes, I did. No worries. And then the last part is optimizing engineering and processes. Improve code quality. Well, we have a lot of engineers behind the scene writing code, building product, and we'll leverage, some of you may have heard, Copilot. So that's something that we use behind the scene to help improve our engineering or optimizing it. So those are the three pillars of how we use AI in high level. Now the use case. So this is to make someone get more interesting about what we do. So we actually have a product called Cyclops. Some of you, just for some more, how should I say this? As I said, I belong to a team called Artificial Intelligence team, and our team likes naming convention that is on the superhero side of things. So Cyclops is the name the team came up with. Basically, what it does is an image recognition technology, which has two capabilities. One is to detect the angle of the car. So basically, you put in a photo, what you see in front of you here. It would tell you, okay, that's a side mirror. Okay, this is the steering. That's the gear shift. And then there's another capability is recognizing the make, model, series, and batch in the photo. Why we built this is because we have photographers that goes out to the field to take photos of cars that came out. There's a lot of cars coming out every year. And traditionally, when they come back, they have to crop the photos and label them manually.
I see.
So we build this tech to help them crop, hopefully, and then help them label automatically. So that helps smoothen the process. So yeah, so that's one of the use case called Cyclops. The other one is called Myfeed. Myfeed is a recommendation system that we build, recommends cars, surprise. Recommend cars, boats, bikes, based on what user previously have seen. So you can see in the red box here, it actually indicates to you. So when you use the Carsales app, based on your previous interactions, it will attempt to highlight to you, seems like you like a lot of Ferrari and expensive car, therefore you should have a look at this. So, but they not only that, it also trying to pick out reviews, not only cars for you to buy, but check out this review of this car, so that informs you a bit more. Okay, that's something you should go for. And another product, it's called Mystique. Hint, another superhero name. This is from X-Men, I believe. Mystique. The superpower it has is its shape shifting and stuff. Some of you might try to guess. Might try to guess what is this service about. It is actually a technology that detects the presence of the number plate and try to blur them. So we're just bending the superhero analogy here, trying to shift and change. So basically, a user may have uploaded an image of a car, and it is a bit troublesome for you to use the phone previously and then try to figure out, okay, this is my number plate, I should blur it before I upload my photo. So we do that for you automatically.
Nice.
So yeah, so this is important because security-wise, if you didn't know, people like to steal number plates of cars, and this is one of the ways they do so. So this will prevent car number plate theft. So that contributes to the one of the three key pillars of why we use AI. This is to enhance the trust level of the user, so that when you buy cars online through Carsales, you can be sure that these are your privacy and security is covered.
Nice.
So those are the use cases that we use. We have others, but I can come back again and talk about other products, but those are the few prominent one that we're highlighting in terms of what we do.
Quick
now, yes.
One quick question here. So you mentioned about the use cases here is there is a phone app. So some of us we've not seen the Carsales product portfolio. So do people have a phone app? And let's say I have a car and I want to sell this car. I can go to my Carsales app and then create an advertisement saying whatever I want to sell my whatever car ABC, and here are the pictures, and here is the price, maybe location, and that's it. And then it automatically gets seen by other people, and I'll start getting requests to whatever. I see. Okay. And all of these technologies will come into picture there. So I take a photo of my car, my license plate or number plate will automatically get blurred, so that whatever privacy reasons, whatever, all these other things, my the recommendation engine will come into picture for other people who might be interested in this car, so they see my car in their recommendations. And then the first use case was when I take photos of the car, if I take the side mirror, if I take the windshield, if I take the back or whatever, the app will automatically arrange those photos, I guess, so that maybe the full car is seen first, and then the right rear view mirror is seen maybe a different, I don't know, some ordering or whatever use cases there might be for that, right?
Yeah, there are other services, but you're not far from the way how you articulated. Yeah, you're not far from the full picture of
got it. Okay.
The full experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, this is awesome, man. This is really like amazing use of machine learning and AI for this. Really cool.
Yeah. Should I continue, or you have some more questions?
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Okay. So it brings me to my actual talk today. So previously, it's just giving you some background on what we do and some of the cool technology that's out there that we built. As I said again, we use Metaflow. The year 2021, I believe, that's when we caught wind of Metaflow. Metaflow came out earlier. We were in the market. We were trying to figure out how to solve quite a lot of the challenges of machine learning operations. I'm emphasizing that. So my talk today hones in on this a journey to multi-tenant with Metaflow and the lessons that we learned. We'll talk more about why multi-tenant in that journey. So please be warned, what I'm going to continue from here is heavily architectured. So again, for those of you, sit tight. Welcome any questions. Ping me sometimes if you have any more. So let's continue from here. In the beginning, this is pretty much how we use Metaflow. Metaflow actually makes it very simple for our team. We pretty much launched Metaflow. That's how it looks like. Just pick up the CloudFormation template that's made available by Metaflow itself. I launch it and we run our workloads, and then the outcome of it is a model, and then we just wrap it through an API, and that's how we use it. It's very cool, very simple. Everybody loves it. It actually increased our experiment and our turnaround for production. I would say around 50% increase as compared to before. Nice. Yeah. It got a bit complicated when you want to bring data into the picture. So here we go. We got data. So we managed to work around that. And then we introduce more data. So just being sarcastic here by saying, think we need data to do machine learning. I think so. So I mean, so if you didn't catch it by now, without data, machine learning, there's not much you can do there. So you will see the theme going on from there. But what I'm trying to highlight here is, previously when we started, it was a simple approach. Once we start growing, because we're iterating quite fast, we can take on more projects. Then we got to discover, different projects have different data requirements, and the data come from all sorts of places. And how do we deal with that? Let's continue from here. Before we continue about talking about dealing, because Metaflow help us to produce projects in a faster turnaround than usual, than previous. We have business functions. This is 2022. Gee, that's during COVID period. Business starts to like, hey, hot winds like, hey, how can we use more AI? Can we use more AI? Can we do this? And different business functions start to approach our team and say, hey, this model that you have there, we like to use your model to, but we want to have a different way of managing the output. So it was like, yeah. So they have their own API. We manually copied our model. We didn't know how to manage this part. So that was early on. And then so on and so forth. Another functional team caught wind. It's like, oh, okay. Seems like there's this model that can do certain things. I wanted to do something else. And you can see where it can go from there. More and more people start to ask us like, okay, you like to use this. And we felt challenged because yes, we like people to start asking to use models, but what you see in front of you, we're doing this approach whereby, copying the model across different outputs. And not only that, we decide to, I jumped the gun here, but surprise, we actually needed something called a model registry. That's how we discover we needed a place to store our models at one centralized place, rather than previously we are copying all across different boards. There's no way to manage it. So Sagemaker came out, was in our radar during that time, and we just caught wind of it, and we went down this path. And thankfully, Metaflow is flexible enough for us to build out this particular functionality. I think in one of the documentation nowadays, I saw from Metaflow, you can actually directly write to the SDK Sagemaker that does all this. So that was pretty powerful. That's our first discovery. Like, oh, you can do this. So we were thinking, cool, we solved the problem. But then there are more users that wants to use Metaflow. These are users that are, how would I say, they are not data scientists. They are like people who just have interest, like, hey, we want to adopt AI in our business, in our service. We're software engineers, pretty much. I want to use this. So similar to the explosion of ChatGPT that causes the I want to use the word hype, the wave of AI is like, oh, what can we do? Everyone in the different functional team says, oh, what can we do? We need AI. So we have more users starting to like, I want to use this Metaflow thing. And then not only that, all the users have their own project requirements, and they have their own data that comes in. So what I'm trying to highlight here is the need for AI is good, but then the complexity sort of grew from there. Again, Metaflow is so simple to use. People want to use it. The complexity grows from there. How do we manage that? We will pose a question that causes to rethink. And that question is, how do I know how much a machine learning project cost?
Interesting.
And that was the turning point of, okay, let's revisit this particular approach that we do. What we did was fast to market, but right now we pretty much a lot of people trying to adopt and use, and then different use case starts coming in, and then if management trying to track, okay, this thing is up in the market, how much is it cost to run it, and what's our ROI? So they are those kind of post deployment post deployment value evaluation when it comes to money form that surfaces. So that is, so back to what I'm to say again, that is the turning point of like, hey, we should revisit what we have here, because at the moment everything is absorbed within a team. And we don't know how to splice the cost because everybody is sharing the building. The building cost is itself. We can't find a way to allocate it because everybody's sharing the same toilet, or not the same toilet, the same library.
But in this case, like the data A, data B, data C, like each of these, what are they? They are like S3 buckets, or are they like,
combinations of any, you name it, RDS instance, Athena, S3, whatever, different data lake type of things going on. Yeah.
But they are in different accounts, right? Because each of them is in a different. So every team has their own account. In their own account, they have data in some tool or some product, whatever, S3 and whatnot. And then, but from the main machine learning account, Metaflow runs in that account. It pulls in or accesses data from a different account, whatever, pulls in the data, does whatever it has to do for crunching, model creation, whatnot, and then sends the model to Sagemaker for serving.
Yes, that's right. So you can see, if this were to continue to happen, did I jump? Yeah, if this were to continue to happen, Metaflow will be a person that have all the keys to all the data, and that is potential security concern. Like user A can access C, can access E, D. I mean, to them is good because they have access to all the data. But then we have to balance out between, should you be doing that?
And you can also run into things like each AWS account has limits. So things like, number of types of EC2 instances. You can only create like whatever 100 types or 100 instances of type M5 4x large, or you can only create whatever these many VPCs or whatever. Like, so that account, you'll start running into those limits, or you could start running into those limits as well in that one central account, which then affects everyone, because now everyone is like everyone is kind of like, having to work in a smaller scale almost, just so that you don't run into those accounts. So having that spread out has many benefits.
Yeah. So we'll venture around that thought, and then of course I was talking halfway, and then I was just trying to highlight there's even more API trying to connect to the account, and there's a limit of how many endpoints you can do. And like you highlighted, every account would have a GPU quota limit, and if everybody wants to jump on the GPU's bandwagon, whoa, what can you do? Those are the I will use the word pain point. Those are the challenges, good challenge that we have, because this signifies that Metaflow allows us to scale to this issue. Then how do we approach this? So we went back to a drawing board, talk a bit, and then went back and forth. A bit more context. When we started using Metaflow, it was only available as a batch, AWS batch environment.
Yes.
by then, right now, Metaflow introduced capability to use Kubernetes.
Right.
So we tap into that thinking process because Kubernetes is almost like a cloud inside a cloud. You can be quite flexible. So we went down that route and get to the page. This is our attempt, the journey that we went into, whereby we have pretty much a Kubernetes cluster itself, whereby we have all our workload. Tenants are users from different groups that would be spliced up. Using a bit of Kubernetes terminology, we use namespace to logically separate them. That will help us deal with permissionings. And with that approach, we managed to separate the artifacts. So previously, there's one S3 bucket for everyone. So that is good to have everything in one place, but then harder to track costs. With this approach, when we split it out, we pretty much can say level 5 in this tall building belongs to you and the cost is yours. And level 3 is somebody else you have no access to. So just play on that playground. We retain the Sagemaker registry approach, whereby we want a hub to store the model with the concept of if there is something exists, you don't need to train it. You can just pick from the catalog and use it. And then we split out the responsibility of the endpoint, whereby the endpoint now sits with the customer who wants it. I mean, internal customer or business function. If you want to use our model, just launch an endpoint to end, just referencing the model from this account, and you can do whatever you want with it. The cost is pretty much segregated from there. On the right hand side, we have this thing called BYO AWS service. Previously, like you were asking, this data A, B, C, D, E. There are many variations of it. Sometimes user even want to have a DynamoDB stuff. They want to write something in their Metaflow workflow, write it to a DynamoDB for their own use case, then come back to it. That became hard to control as a person who wants to manage Metaflow. So we separate that out. So anything that is not part of we call it a core stack of the Metaflow. You have it in your own account, but you can bring that in as part of your flow. This is very high level, but we launched this and it has been working quite well so far in terms of this multi-tenant approach. Obviously, there's a lot of things we have to fine-tune here and there. You know, Kubernetes is a very deep rabbit hole for some of you who are using it. But yeah, so lessons learned, trying to summarize here. Number one, understand what the capabilities of the tools. When I say tools means Metaflow, knowing when not to use it. Metaflow, when we first started using it, it came across as this is almost like a very powerful orchestrator. Because if you view it as this step, I can tell it whatever you want to do. I can call anything I want because it's a program. And then once that finished, I can go to another step and do whatever I want because writing program is like creating something out of nothing. So that is quite capable in terms of the tool, but then is it something that you want to use it for? So those are the questions we need to constantly ask ourselves because if we leave the door wide open, like I'm going to use this hammer to fix my car, my car steering, my car wheel, my window, my whatnot. Not only it can pick up nails, but it can smash anything. Like, my dog is not listening well, I may use a hammer. So this hammer, I don't need to buy any other tool. Hammer will work. Answer is yes, it will, but do you want to? How would you reconcile the side effect of using the hammer? So hopefully this illustration make a point that I can use Metaflow for pretty much anything, but do you want to? There are some costs that comes with it. So back to this this picture here. Metaflow can pretty much do anything. We can run it as it is, but then we would have to ask, do we want to be responsible for everything? There's only team size. Everybody struggle with skills, talents, resources. So we have to start clearly define what are the responsibility of the tool itself. So that is one lesson that we learn when not to use it, when to use it. Second part of the thing we learned, so our ML operations journey started more than 5 or 7 years ago, and it's still maturing. What we learned so far is, if possible, don't go custom. Like, don't make your own bespoke solution. Why I'm saying that is because the key is this: the machine learning, because it's still maturing, there are many tools up and coming. The AI is changing a lot. The way how we didn't know ChatGPT can cause such a boom with LLM ops. That terminology never existed before, and there are no tools out there to do that. So if we created something very bespoke very early on, yes, it will answer one question, for one thing, but there are so many other up and coming things in the AI world that we haven't dealt with. So what we thought of, like, hey, Metaflow is out there, fantastic. Oh, Sagemaker is fantastic, something that we can pick and choose. There's a caveat there. Whatever you design, make sure it's flexible enough for you to swap out. It swaps the function out as a module, meaning we know that this element here, we can potentially swap this out and explore something else. Or we are using Kubernetes for another reason we chose it is because the landscape is huge in terms of what we can choose. So we can swap certain things out as compared to not bad-mouthing AWS batch, but that is a trade-off you would have in terms of those choice. So that's our decision when going down the Kubernetes path and making our choice flexible. And the third one is, whatever we create, the ease or rate of adoption is key. We found that quite early on. We spent a lot of time, you can spend 6 months, 1 or 2, trying to create the best things, but by that time, if you miss the boat and nobody adopt, nobody's using it. So find a way how you create things, make sure it's easy to adopt. The end user is the most important one. Like I said, here we went back and forth trying to do this, but at the end of the day, we always ask the question: how easy would the user able to use this? Because they are the customer at the end of the day. I think Metaflow has hit the nail quite spot on. I remember there was this triangle illustration saying that the level of care, if you're in the purple head, is very different from the yellow head. Purple head is the data scientist and the machine learning engineer. So it's that flip side of things. So those are the lessons learned. Here's a bit of a tech stack, just a bit of illustration. What we use, Metaflow is pretty much part of our model deployment, development, and the monitoring itself. We use a bit of Google also for data. and
Mhm.
we are AWS shop pretty much. And
And then
that's pretty much my office hour sharing.